Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Medicine Creek. We've got another busy day on the farm today. We've got 160 or so acres of soybeans to get planted. So obviously had a successful time last time getting all our corn planted, but we do need to move on and get the soybeans into the ground and growing. But before we do that, we're just heading up here to the dealer. We've got a new truck to demo. We got a call from the guys here and said that Jonathan of Northwest Mods and Edits had delivered a brand new pickup for us to try out, and there it is, parked over there. So this is a 2020 Ford Limited Superduty. Now we've gone for the 450 version, the FX4 model there, jewels on the rear, fully decked out. It's got work lights, some there on the back bumper, work lights up there on the headache rack. Got a toolbox on the back, not a service toolbox though, unfortunately. I don't know if there's plans for it to make a service function or not. But there we go, look at that. That thing looks beautiful. So we're looking forward to having this on the farm for the season and trying it out to see how it all goes. So thank you to Jonathan for all your hard work on that, and also to Junt, who pointed me in the direction of it to have it here on the farm and give it a whirl on Medicine Creek. I think this is going to be a fabulous addition. Obviously, we do have the service trailer back at the farm, so we don't miss out on service function by not having it in the truck. We can just tow the trailer around. So let's just hop in there. Look at those mirrors unfolding. Even as the startup sounds. So there you go, you hear the beep as you've put the keys in and turned it on, and we are out and running. So we'll get this back down to the farm. We've got the tractors all set up. We have got the seed in them. Being soybeans, we shouldn't need any liquid fertilizer, which is fortunate because we did manage to use it all up, or pretty much use it all up on the corn. We only have a little bit left in the planter. But look at this truck, sounds great, looks great. Fantastic looking model. So like I said, really enjoying or looking forward to having this as part of the farm for the season. You never know, we may see if we can keep hold of it. Just as we do get back into the yard here, some of you might wonder where you can get this from. I'll leave a link in the description, or I'll try and remember to leave a link down below and point you in the right direction, but it's been released on Northwest Mods and Edits on Facebook. So that is the only place to get it, so go along and give it a whirl, see what you think. But we'll go and park it here undercover. We want to keep it nice and clean. I deliberately didn't go for black because I know with these gravel roads and that around the farm, a black pickup is going to get filthy. Even so, this grey is probably going to show the dirt up a little bit once it gets a bit of use. But stunning looking pickup. Not normally a blue oval fan, but I'll make an exception today. Right. Let's go and check out the planters, make sure they're all good to go, and we'll get going on the soybeans. So we're going to get the 8RX here underway. Obviously it is the bigger planter, but I'm actually going to put it in these two smaller fields here. Field 26 there just on our left we're going past, and field 23, which is just up here on the left and through the back of this field. The reason I'm going to do that is there's actually more acres to plant here in these two fields than that is over in field 35, so even though 35 is a little bit bigger, I don't think we'll have any issues with the size of the planter in these fields. It should be just fine. So we'll get down in here, get this all unfolded and get it underway with the soybeans. Alright, so we'll get this all unfolded. Now I want to clear the work area there we've got in the community extension tools down the bottom underneath the speedometer. We've got the 37.89 acres, which was field 10. Now right control and 0 will clear that. Obviously I've got that right control and O will clear that. I've got O set up to hide HUD as well, so that's why it disappeared. But you can see there, when I've brought the HUD back up, we have 0 in the acreage counter. So when we get this all set up and going, we will be able to check on how many acres we've actually got in this field, because I don't have an accurate count on these two fields, mainly because when I did the tillage on them last, we didn't reset the counter on those, so I've only got a combined total. So we'll just set this up on courseplay and get them on their way. Alright, there we go, we've got our course set up. All looks to be working reasonably well. Got a few little overlaps, but nothing going through the trees or anything like that. This has probably taken a better part of 5 minutes to generate though, because I tell it to go on the long edge rather than what it had set up, which was kind of a diagonal 45-degree course through the middle. So we're going to just hit go on this and make sure everything works properly. We've got soybeans and we've got, I better just check, we have our automatic application rate for precision farming. There we go, and it does say crop does not require additional fertilizer, which is what I expected we would get with soybeans. So let's hit go on driving this course. And there we go, that looks to be running as I would expect it to. Now the first thing you'll notice is I have managed to get the strip till textures that weren't showing up on the last time when we planted the corn. So the row crop plantings, I said strip till, the row crop planting textures there. I've got those all set up and working as I have had on other maps, so that all looks good. It looks much better than the cedar type texture we have put down with the corn. So we'll get the soybeans fine, and then obviously moving forward everything that is a row crop will be using the correct textures, obviously corn and soybeans being our main focus here. But this all looks like we are going to run along here quite nicely. There might be a few of these little what I called fingers in the last episode, and I think someone gave me a little bit of stick about it in a comment, but these little pockets of the field where we might have to come back and just tidy up some areas. Now you can see there, we're not actually going right to the edge of the field. I wonder if I should have scanned it beforehand. Not to worry, we can come and tidy those areas up later, because obviously I want to maximise as much of the field as we can. So we're going to leave the work going here and go and make a start over in field number 35, the least field on the other side of the map, using the 7800. So I will meet you over there. So we made it over here to field number 35. It's a pretty uneventful trip. Of course I got halfway here and realised we probably could have taken those saddle tanks off. Not really needed, because we don't need the fertiliser or the soybeans. So let's just go and get this all unfolded. In fact, we can start that process while we're driving around here. There we go, we'll make sure we had the planter selected to be able to unfold it. And I'm just going to make a start on running around our headlands, and then we will get going on some up and down rows. I must say this field feels quite a lot bigger in this small tractor than it might have in the 8RX. Just check there, we've got soybeans selected, so we're putting the right seed in, so we can get this turned on, lowered down, and crack straight into planting. Before I do, we need to clear that area calculator. So there we go, that is all zeroed down, and we will get an accurate reading now in this field as to what our area is for planting compared to what we tilled. Obviously this is one we had a accurate count on our tillage. This is something we talked about last time. I did have a play around with this mod, the planter, just to see if I could figure out why it got dirty so quick. Nothing stood out for me, so if anyone has any suggestions on what might need to be tweaked for that. A lot of the wearable lines of code in the XML were pretty much exactly the same as the other Kinsey planter, so like I said, not 100% sure on what I could possibly do to improve that for future. But you can see there, same deal as the other planter, we are getting those row crop textures down, which is very nice indeed. Also be interesting just to keep an eye on our seed usage. I'm not sure if it's going to be any higher in this field because we're in, well, not in the field, but because we're using soybeans, than if we were planting corn. I would have expected it to be, as I understand, like I said last time, I'm pretty sure soybeans are planted at a higher population than corn would be, but we'll just keep an eye on that and see how much we use as we're going around and planting. But for now, I think if we just start off again with a little bit of a time lapse on this field, and we'll just get things underway and keep moving. So we're just over 12.5 acres through this field. I think it was about 61 or 62 acres total, so not quite a quarter done, but getting pretty close. This is our third time around the field. Now I did spot on our last pass a rock we had missed when we were doing our rock picking, and I can see it coming into sight just up here in front of us. So I certainly don't want to run that underneath the planter or run the planter over that. So we'll make sure we stop up here and move it to the side of the field. I'll probably just go and put it against a tree. We've got no way to carry it with us in the tractor or to get it over to one of the rock piles. There is one just over there to our right, just in those trees over there. But we'll just put it over in the edge of the field. So if we're just going to have a look. So I don't know how I missed it. It's a decent sized rock. We just pick that up and find a good tree to leave it under. There we go. Put that there, and it's not going to go anywhere. That will be out of the way and won't cause us any more problems. Oh, there's birds already in there trying to get the seed. Alright, I'll carry on with this for a little bit longer. We will have to go and make a check on how the 8RX is going, so I might put this on a worker in just a little bit and go and see how far through the field they have made it, and then come back over here and carry on planting this field. I've just taken a third pass off just the little part of the headland here back towards the trees, and thought instead of going all the way to the other side of the field with that headland and then having to run back over and start on this side of the field, I would just carry on these longer edges, give us a good position to be able to start the worker off on and get them going. So I think I'll just turn the GPS off where we are and we will hire a worker. Here we go, they have taken over, and leave them running here for a little bit. We'll head over to the other field and see how the other planter is going. Over here in the 8RX, they have finished all the headland passes and have made a start on their up and down rows. So probably good timing. We'll be able to see how they are coping with turning here on the end rows. Obviously we gave them a decent amount of space by doing 3 headland passes, so we'll just see how they get turned around and lined up for the next row. And there we go, they had to go forward a little bit to get lined up and then reverse into position to start. So I wonder if I can change some settings with their turning radius, because I would have thought with that headland size they should have been able to turn around without having to reverse up to make sure they were aligned. But doesn't matter too much because they have done what they needed to get started on the next pass. So that's all going pretty well. I think there might be a little bit up here on the left of the field where they missed just a small section, just with the way that the field steps in and out and where the up and down rows started, where we may have to just come back once they've finished and tidy up a couple of little spots. But that's only a minor issue. You can just see a little bit there, in fact, just up on our left. So that's going all pretty well. So I think we'll leave them to it. We'll start grabbing a few shots and put together another planting montage. This one's going to look a whole lot better though, because those row crop textures, they just look much more authentic than the textures we had last time. And a very easy fix to do here on Medicine Creek, because it already uses custom textures. So it was just a case of overriding those with the custom textures I've used elsewhere and changing the row crop requirements to wide planting for the soybeans and corn. So very simple and straightforward, not too much editing of any XML or anything. So let's just crack on with this, and we'll catch you again probably when this plant is finished and ready to move into the other field. So we're just running along the last pass or so here in the 8RX. I think there's a little section here in front of us, and then just past these trees which jut out a little bit, there should be another little bit still to do, which will wrap us up actually at the right end of the field, which is actually the wrong end of the field, but it will put us in a position where we can tidy up some of these pieces like this here on the right on our way back. And I just noticed up there on our left, I might jump out, that looks like a rock up there. I've already recovered one from this field, so I'll just head over here and have a quick look. Indeed it is. So there's a few I missed. I thought I'd done a pretty good job. But if we just get this one picked up, and we'll place this down here in amongst some trees somewhere as well, and then we'll go and ride along while we get the last part of the field finished. Just getting these last couple of pieces finished off in this field, and we will pretty much be done. 52.27 acres. There is a few just little spots like what you can see there just in front of us. I think the planter slides a little bit on the side of the hill, which is what's led to those being there. But other than that, things are looking pretty good. So go down and tidy this little bit up in the corner, then we'll get things folded up and head over to field number 26. We're just rolling up the hill here towards field number 26. Actually, on my way out of the last field, found another rock that we had missed picking up. So I think there was 3 in total in that field, and 1 over obviously in the other field, field 35 we're working in. Interestingly, we didn't miss any in the corn, or at least we didn't detect any that we'd missed in the cornfields. So not sure what led to us missing some down there. Now that we are here, we'll get this all unfolded, and we'll get course play set up and start going again in this field. Now I just need to record that 52.28 acres in field number 22, I think it is. 23, field 23 was 52.28, and we are into field 26 now. So there is our course for this field. Obviously it's quite an awkward shape, and we're only able to do 2 headlands. We had selected 3, but I expect probably the tight part up where the course finishes, or the fact that it gets quite narrow here by the entrance probably stops it from doing the 3 headland passes. But 2 should be okay, so we'll just we'll head off, we'll see how it all goes, keep an eye on it, and get them started. So I don't think we're going to run out of seed. We've only used maybe 25%. I think we were on about 90, 91 when we started this field. So we're not even 30%. So that's actually quite surprised me that we haven't been using seed quite as quickly as I thought we might have. Which is a good thing. We've had to pay for less inputs, and we'll be able to return some of the seed we'd already bought back to the co-op and get a refund on that, which is nice. So we're off and away here, which is good. Now I've had a call from the other tractor over in the other field. They're a little bit worried they're going to run out of diesel, so I'm actually going to, while we're here, head down to the farm, down to the yard. We'll grab the Ford, another excuse to get that out, and we'll run the fuel trailer over there to top them up. So there we go, we are getting some diesel pumped here into the trailer. We didn't have any in it already, so we'll just get some in here. I'm not going to fill it up because obviously we are paying for this. You can see our money there is going down. I'll probably just put in maybe 25% of a tank, 150 odd gallons. That should be more than enough to keep that tractor going. In fact, we'll stop that there. $400 worth. That's pretty good. We'll go and take this over to field 35 and get that tractor topped off. Just while we're heading along the road here, I just thought I'd take a look at the interior. It's pretty nicely styled, pretty well detailed. Got a sat nav there in the centre, nice digital display on the dashboard, and all the controls that we could need at the fingertips on the steering wheel there. So very nicely set up, and good mirrors, good visibility all around. Even got the panoramic roof, so even a very nice model to be driving around if you want to drive from in-person view. Very nice. Right, let's get over to field 35. So there I can just see the tractor over in the far distance. They are heading away from us, so by the time we've got down and into the field and parked back down here on the headland, they should just about be back down, ready to be fueled up. So here comes the worker. We'll let them get finished on that row and swung around, and they can pull up beside the trailer. Should put the diesel tank on the correct side too. Pretty sure they're on the left side of the tractor. So once they've swung around, we should be in a good spot to be able to get that diesel topped off. Alright, and there we are, we're getting the diesel into the tractor. We did have to turn on what you can see there, the trigger point for the pump. So just by standing, just hop out here and show you. Just by standing here next to the pump and just pressing your action button like you're opening a door, it turns on and off that trigger. So the box appears and disappears. When the tractor's in it, it turns green and you can pump the diesel. Anyway, that is full, so we can hop down here, turn this off, and then with the same action here on the left hand side, you can turn the service module on, which is the laptop there, and here is the trigger box to put your piece of equipment in that might need some maintenance. Obviously not going to need that right now, so we'll just get the pickup out of the way and the worker can carry on going with planting this field. Just take a quick look in here. 44.25 acres of 61, so about 16 acres to go. So well over halfway, which is good. Should, all going to plan, finish at about the same time as the other tractor. There we go, the worker is back up and running their planting, which is good to see. So with that all filled up now, we'll head back over to the yard, drop this back at the sheds and go and check on progress in the other fields and hopefully get close to wrapping up our planting for all our crops. It's back over here once again with the 8RX and progress is going very well. I've started on the up and down rows, well, if you can call them up and down rows, but they've finished the headlands and are doing their main rows now. Of course, it's a bit of an awkward shaped field, and as we saw from the course, a little bit of an awkward shaped course, but all seems to be going well at the moment. So nothing more left to do than watch these tractors finish off the last few acres of our spring planting before we can start to progress and take one step further, one step closer to starting our harvesting. Only this and a couple more runs left and we will be finished over here in field 35. So it feels good to have this one done. It has taken quite an effort with the smaller planter, but I think we made the right decision. Bring this one over here and leaving the bigger planter on the other fields. purely based on area. So we're just looking there, we've done just shy of 61.5 acres. We'll probably tick over that by the time we get these last little pieces done. And that matches pretty well with the 61.53 acres that we had tilled. So not too different at all. There we go. And we haven't even had to top up our seed at all either. It's hardly used any, which is nice. It's good. But I do know there's a couple of little spots just down here that you can just see on the distance that I will go and tidy up. So we'll go and get those, get the planter folded up and head back to the yard where we can clean them off and get them put away until next season. We'll just get this folded up. We've planted those last little pieces, 61.49 acres in this field. So once the 8RX has finished, we'll be able to get a good read on how many acres of soybeans we're going to end up with total. So as soon as this is all done, we'll be on the road and back to the yard. And as timing would have it, we have finished up here with the 8RX pretty much at exactly the same time as the other field. So that has worked out very well. Now I did neglect to reset the area on this planter, however I did record the area of field 23 before we started at 52.28. So we'll just be able to do some simple maths and figure out that this field must be about 22 acres or so. Last little piece here. And there we go. I think that is us all done. Now I did notice that there was another rock we'd missed up here. Probably explains why this planter's had a little bit of damage done to it. We'll just jump out here, come over here and get it picked up. And I think there's just a rock pile here we can go and deposit it on, so that it's not just lying around on the side of the field like some of the others. There we go. That is all gone. So with that in mind, and that all done, I think it's time we can get this planter folded up and back over to the yard as well. So we'll wrap up this episode the same way we did the last one, which is giving these planters a good clean. We'll obviously get them emptied out, get rid of all this seed and get them put away, because as I said at this stage we won't be needing them until next spring. But 136.22 acres is our grand total of soybeans planted, so time will tell whether that will be enough to get us to our 10,000 bushels of beans that we are contracted to do. So next time I expect we will have skipped forward a few days. We'd have some crops that have germinated and probably some weeds, and we'd take the chance to get into the Trident, take the spray trailer out and get some herbicide applied to all of those fields to get rid of all the weeds and make sure that we're making our crops as healthy as possible, so when it comes time to harvest we are getting the best yields we can. So plenty more to do, but at this rate we will be starting our harvesting a lot sooner than you think, and that is one of the beauties of precision farming, not having to do any extra applications of fertilizer or anything like that. We can just take care of the weeds and then move straight into harvesting. There we go, that all looks nice and clean. So as always, thank you all very much for watching. Do hope you have enjoyed that episode, and I will catch you in the next one.